Uh, start. Yes. Start record. Hello, everyone. Welcome to CASPA 2022 Science and Technology Fair Media Conference. This is Catherine, the co-chairman of Science and Engineering Fair. Thanks our media friends taking their time out to join our media conference. They are Sandy Chen from World Journal. Welcome, Sandy. Sandy Wong, Wei Ping Ding from Ding Ding TV. Welcome. Today, we are here to promote Science and Engineering Fair event. We have Science and Engineering Chairman Lin Liu, co-chairman. Catherine Xiaoyan Chue is here. Advisor Danny Hua. Advisor on Media and Public Relationship, router columnist on Microeconomic Financial Policy and Technology, Yan Zhao. President of CASPA, Charlie Zhou. Board member, Ming Yu. Also, thanks to our speakers to attend today's media conference. They are Paula Golden, President of Broadcom Foundation. Welcome, Paula. Mr. Dong Wei, ARM Fellow and Lead Standards Architect, ARM. Welcome. Mr. Charlie Guo, co-founder and CEO of S-Camp Academy. Mr. Xin Wei, CEO of Ivy Max Education. Mr. Bill Zhao, founder of Harmony Plus. Professor Ya from 7EDU. Welcome. Here I will give the brief introduction of media promotion for the event. Start from this week, we start to promote our Science and Engineering Fair event on all media platforms, including Xingdao Daily Newspaper, Xingdao Radio, World Journal Newspaper, KTSF 26 TV, also broadcast our event on Ding Ding TV, SemiWiki, such online media. Apart from that, we also have the promotion on LinkedIn, CASPA YouTube channel, and our e-letter which sent to our thousands of members. Before we start to introduce Science and Engineering Fair, Charlie may have some words to our attendees today. So, Charlie?
Yes. Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm a president of CASPA for this year. And welcome. Thank you for supporting CASPA. And we are, it's a tradition for us to host Education Day and during this summer break, right? Especially for our next generations, also for our members' kids. So we will cooperate and promote the maker spirit, right? Promote STEM project. So we will, cooperate, make this event great. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. So next, Linzhi will introduce 2022 CASPA Science Engineering Fair. Linzhi, please take the floor.
Okay, thanks, Kathleen, and thanks, Charlie. So this is actually the agenda of today. We'll have the introduction. And the next one is for me. I will introduce the CASPA Science Engineering Fair. And from like 15 to 12:40, we will have speakers panel. And after that, we'll have like a meter QA. Yeah, this is Linzhi Liu. So I am the Deputy General Manager of Kuaishou Technology. It's a short video platform with 346 million daily active users. And I'm the General Manager of US R&D Center. So I have some publications, patents, and paper and stand-up proposals. I'm also an adjunct professor of Wuhan University in China. So I am a BOD member of CASPA, also an active volunteer in promoting STEM education for local community. So as you know, the Science and Engineer Fair is a flag event of CASPA, allows our community and the children to conduct the experimental of their own interest and gain hands-on learning experience, including reading, writing, critical thinking, problem solving, data analysis, and public speaking. So the origin of CASPA Science Engineer Fair can be traced back to CASPA's first education day, initiated in 2012. Through 1 decade hard working from our CASPA volunteers and support from the speakers, judges, and sponsors, the event nowadays has grown from a half-day local event to a multi-session international event. So we observed that STEAM competition is a great way to help kids grow their confidence and interest in STEAM. So in conjunction with this event, since CASPA SEF2022, we offer not only a series of introductory coding classes, but also soft skill classes to enhance their presentation skills. CASPA Science Engineer Fair is targeting K-12 students. 24 final submissions on the event of context day in SAFE 2021. These are the list of the submissions to the final competition. So we have high school, middle school, and elementary school 3 sessions. These are the winners of last year. So we have a very successful Science Engineer Fair last year. Of course, the success of Science Engineer Fair is a cooperation of the organizers, judges, elites, audiences, and the cooperation of our high school student volunteers. So for this year, CASPA SEF2022, we will have bring some special things. So following last year, we will have 3 groups of participants. They are like a elementary school group, middle school group, and high school groups. The project categories will be physics, math, computer science, and engineering. So this year we will have a special theme competition. So the topic is cleaning up the ocean spill. The target of this competition is a challenge to design an efficient algorithm to clean that area of ocean. And the algorithm may be implemented on a packet-sized computer. So the age group is from 11 to 16 years old. And this program competition is collaborated with Education. So these are the micro-bit modules, also called like a packet-sized computers that Education provided. So this year we will have another volunteer certificate program of SEF2022. So the volunteer certificate program is a recognition of an individual who has served in SEF2022. A CASPA volunteer certificate will be given to the qualified participants after the closing ceremony. So the VCP program is just a way that we would appreciate the efforts and contributions to CASPA SEF2022. The willingness of volunteers to use their gifts and abilities has strengthened the and value of CASPA.
I think Lin
And next one, you will receive a confirmation email and project series number from CASPA by July 2022. And please let us know if you don't get your confirmation by July 25th. So next, please upload your poster, YouTube, PPT, and provide links before August 1st, 2022. And the competition day is scheduled on August 6th. The submissions and the team will interview with judge and compete for the prize on presentation day. So these are the judging criteria for science and engineering. We will post it on the website. So please come to us on June 18th, Saturday, for the kickoff day event. We will have Golden and Mr. Dong Wei as the keynote speakers. And we will invite our friends from XCamp, RVMax, able to share Harmony Plus and 7EDU to give us introduction about the STEAM computation. So these are the context day, the competition day scheduled August 6th. We will post the details when the day comes. So this is the end of my introduction, and thanks everybody to come here. And I will take back to Catherine for the next session. Thanks.
Thank you, Lingzhi. So right now it's time for our speakers panel. So yeah, today we will have our speakers for our kickoff event. All of these are here, so welcome. And Ms. Paula, so we know that Broadcom Foundation is focused on the STEM education and the competition. Could you share with our audience and the readers what kind of activities Broadcom Foundation hosted, organized, and supported to promote STEM education?
Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I'm very much looking forward to making remarks a little later this month. Broadcom Foundation is committed to STEM education and opportunity, and we see those two words as really important to our mission. Opportunity to us means, can we give as many children as possible the opportunity to and insight to realize they are scientists and engineers. Every kid is born with a sense of wonder and a desire to explore, and every kid is born with an ability to use their hands and minds to make things. Kids are just wired that way. And somewhere along the way, we don't necessarily cultivate this as fully as we should if we want them to become great scientists and engineers and members of CASPA. We know that if we stop encouraging them and don't let them see their personal potential, then we lose them. They sort of shut down and they go to school and they listen to their teachers, but they aren't really excited and they are not inspired to be the best that they could be in a field that we think they should be in because we need them. So with that in mind, we have always been champions of science fair for several reasons. One, it provides an opportunity for children to experience the 21st century skills. And we think that those skills of learning to collect data and to be able to be creative with the information that they secure in order to make a scientific experiment or do an engineering project or innovation are critical to their ability to perform in school. The other thing about science fair that we think is important, and this has been alluded to already, is the opportunity to present. Many children lack confidence in their work, not because the work isn't good, but because they haven't practiced the art of sharing it. When you sit in a classroom and listen, you don't necessarily share. So we see science fair as really just a very exciting way to engage kids. Lastly, because we're an engineering company, we tend to focus heavily on the M and the T in STEM. And the E, of course, comes along as what happens when you create T, the technology. So we're really heavily focused these days on coding. One of the things we've seen, and I imagine members of CASPA have seen as well, is that science projects today often include kids using coding either to do research or to create their project or to in some way manipulate their project as an engineer. So we see coding as just on the rise, and we want to be part of that wave. But we don't want kids to just code. We don't want them to just be mathematicians. We want them to be critical thinkers and good citizens. So I'm very excited about this year's theme and the challenge of trying to make the oceans better, because our new project is called Broadcom Coding with Commitment. And that means finding an opportunity in the science or observation of our world, applying coding and engineering to come up with a solution to help your community, whether it's on your own or ocean shore, whether it is a larger idea to study and research a scientific phenomenon in the ocean, whatever that might be, having the opportunity to express your passion for making the world a better place and use coding as a way to reach through your passion to come up with a solution, and then present that to an audience or to family members who come to the fair, younger people, and inspire them. This gives a kid just the best possible tools to move forward. That experience is life-changing. And we've been doing this for 11 years, and we know that the formula works.
Thank you, Paula. Thanks for your introduction of what you do. And it helps us to know more about that. And what a coincidence that, because we just, this year, we collaborate with Arm School for also with the topic of the ocean, right? So hopefully, yeah, one day we can collaborate and being partners to do this kind of the project. Yeah. And also, I have another question, because you have been the keynote speaker in our 2014 CASPA Science and Education Day, right? And we still remember that you hosted a Raspberry Pi program to give our youth audience some hands-on experience. You spearhead the Broadcom Master and the Broadcom Master International world-renowned middle school science and engineering competition of Society for Science that enables students to become future scientists, engineering, and innovators. So, you know, since last year, Science and the Engineering Fair became the major activity of Education Day in CASPA. So as an old friend and peers, what suggestions you can give us and let us to give a better service to our community?
Gosh, that's a big question. I guess you have such an active volunteer corps. To me, to run a quality science fair and exposition really requires people who are committed scientists and engineers who come forward to help, because you are bringing to young people that experience, that deep bench experience that you have not only in your studies when you were in school, but as a practicing professional. And that deep bench experience, either in a mentor match program where mentors work with each of your students. We work with one science fair where they team up the students who have projects with an engineer, and that person is a go-to person to help them advance their project, to enhance it, to review it. That process is really great. That kind of goes beyond the judging of a competition. But then there's a third thing too. What do you do with these kids after the day is over and your competition is complete and somebody's won or the projects have been acknowledged and the kids are happy with that and their parents are happy, everyone's happy? Is there a follow-up? Can you think about, as an organization, a way that you keep tabs with these kids? They're special. The ones that you get engaged this way, you want to champion them, and you want to think about whether or not you set up a continuing mentoring program or a way to have a reunion of these young people, even if it's year to year. Sometimes we have a reunion now of kids that in our programs, that science fairs, where they're 10 years difference in the age. But the young ones are so excited because it's part of their alumni. It's just like being your college alumni or university alumni. So I think that there's real value in thinking about not only what you do within the fair itself and judging and being present that day, but can you do some work before the fact to inspire kids and give them confidence by looking at their projects, giving them a critique. It doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be long. And these are things that we can do on Zoom these days. You know, it doesn't require people to step outside of their living rooms to help a kid or engage with a kid, as long as you have parents' permission, of course. And then to have a follow-through program, and you might want to think about that, bringing back some of the kids that have participated in years past and having them be present for your fair this year.
Okay, thank you, Paula. Thanks for your valuable suggestions. So yeah, that's a lot of the challenge for the science and engineering fair. We're gonna to learn a lot from you. Thank you, Paula.
Pleasure.
Okay, so next one, Lingzhi, please go to the next page. Mr. Dongwei. Mr. Dongwei is the ARM Fellow and the lead standard architect. So in ARM, and also the program evaluator of the ABIT. And I wanted to know that you have many professional achievements, and at the same time, you are a program evaluator of accreditation board for engineering and technology that have evaluated 4,300 STEM programs at 846 universities in 41 countries. Through this experience, how do you think STEM education in American universities nowadays is different from before? And how high school and middle school students should prepare to adapt to these challenges? Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you so much for inviting me to the SCF 2022. Yeah, that's actually a very good question. And actually, when I thought about the situation that we have been involved in, I mean, I was a high school student, many decades ago, right? And so when we entered into the colleges, it was a complete different situation than what has been today. So I have been on the ABAT program, coming as a member of the Engineering Accreditation Commission from the IEEE organization. So I represent IEEE to this ABAT program. It's interesting that you actually spell out the ABAT name because, as I have been participating in that program, I have actually never heard about the spell out name. The organization has been always using the short form of the name ABAT. ABAT program, when we went to the universities to evaluate the programs, it's kind of interesting that the program review team has always been multidisciplinary. It covers all the engineering and technology disciplines together, including electrical engineering, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, bioengineering, computer science, computer engineering, and all kinds of disciplines that professors and some of the representatives in the industry came together to evaluate individual colleges, engineering and technology programs. And what I have observed in the more recent years is that, regardless of what engineering or technology programs that we are evaluating, computer becomes a very critical element in all STEM fields. So as you are probably aware that, nowadays, if you go to interview for some of the cloud companies and companies of all sorts, they will ask you the algorithm questions, right? Regardless of whether you are actually doing the software programming or not. Math is certainly behind all these algorithms. And of course, nowadays the artificial intelligence and also all the simulations that people do, it involves math, but since computer can deal with these kind of tasks more efficiently, this is very important. As I said, computer becomes a critical element, and even for bioengineering, right? If you're kind of doing research on human genome, simulation is very, very important, and it's only made possible by the computers to help us finding the solutions in all these different fields. And the other thing that I have also observed is that this interdisciplinary development has made the disciplines that were kind of separated in the past, like for hardware development, we have the electrical engineering. For software development, we had computer science, right? But nowadays, I think these areas are so intertwined, and so this discipline called computer engineering is becoming more and more important to tie the hardware and software development together. And I think, as Paula was mentioning earlier, what I have observed is also reflected in the college curriculum is that the writing and public presentation are extremely important, because this is how you can't just program by yourselves and not letting other team members or other part of the ecosystem to know what you're doing, right? So writing is the ability to be able to collect your thoughts and put it together to communicate with others. And then public presentation is also important because that's normally the venue how you can tell the story to others. And I think the CEF 2022 or actually the CEF in the past are very good opportunity for the young students in high school and middle school and elementary school to do that, right? I mean, once you have the program put together, you have your ideas tested, experimented, you have to tell the story to others. And so writing and public presentation that CEF is providing is a very good venue for the young kids to participate. And this is going to be very important when you get to the college years, and also when you get to the real world work. And also, I think what I would encourage, I think starting from the high school and also into the college years, the importance of summer internship is also a very critical connection from academics to the real world. And I think when I participate in the ABAT program review, all these aspects are looked at, as to whether the programs in the universities are actually helping the students to be able to achieve all these areas.
Thank you, Dongwei. Just what you mentioned, just let me think about what Paula mentioned, how to use the science engineering fair project to let our students to learn the 21st century, the skill sets, right? And then I think through the skill sets, we can face this challenge, and hopefully our science engineering fair can turn this challenge to the opportunity. Yeah, thank you for your sharing, Mr. Dongwei. Yeah. Linzhi, please go to the next one. Okay, Charlie. Charlie is the co-founder and the CEO of S-Camp Academy. So recently, Charlie, I have a question for you. Recently, both Google, Alphabet, and the Apple Developer Conference just ended. These two tech companies can represent the two major directions of hardware and the software in a way. I'm wondering, as a professional with a background in mechanical and computer science and working in AI industry for years, how do you think artificial intelligence will put a role in both the hardware, software, and the science research area? And how to make our kids realize the newest tech trend and learn from it?
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here to share. Yeah, we all know also I'm working in Google here in AI for agriculture. Using the Google X, also very close to Waymo, the self-driving cars. In this, we are really in the age of AI now. So we already see the products in our real life. Also, this speed up very, very quickly. You see the self-driving car is a big challenge. But if you look around, like two of my Googler colleagues, they founded a company called Bear Robotics. They just build robots to help the waitress in the restaurant. You know, the robots help develop, just deliver the dishes, clean up, get the dishes to the customer. So for this kind of a simple task, but it's not that simple when we build the system, build the product. It's a big combination on the hardware and the software and the AI algorithms. But now it's really helped us. It's really solved the problem. They have the tens of thousands kind of robots running now globally. This is just one example. I want to say, you know, as a CASPA, we have very strong background in the hardware. Now also, as Paula said, now is also the time we start to combine with the software. Software also play a more and more important roles, also with the AI algorithms and the systems. So I feel for our kids, it's time, you know, for them to learn even at an early stage. Like example, we have like a Python classes for them to learn. Also, we have algorithms for them to learn. Also, we try to have some AI classes for them to learn. In the kind of from the system point of view, for our kids, they build this hardware, software, and hardware combined system. It's a big practice for them. Also, I don't think it's very challenging for them because this kind of application is pretty intuitive. You know, we have like sensors, camera sensors, distance sensors, also infrared sensors. Also, they will have the control systems. It's pretty kind of standard now. I believe for our like a science fair, we can add more and more this kind of projects and supports. I think support is also very important because, you know, for our kids, if they all study by themselves, it's a big challenge. But we have so many good volunteers in CASPA. I believe we can do a very good job to have enough volunteers to support in this direction. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. We need a lot of the volunteers like you as professionals to be our great supporter. And yeah, so because last year I know that a lot of the students really like what we designed together for the Navis coding class. So this year we're looking for the more collaboration for that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Next one, Lizzie. Oh, Mr. Xinwei. Mr. Xinwei is the CEO of Ivy Max Education. So, Mr. Xinwei, I do have a question for you. And as an experienced counselor in college counseling, your education institute help a lot of the students to go to their dream school. And could you share with us what kind of the profile and the skill sets can help students to go to their dream school and become the one he or she wanted to be, and how to train this kind of the skill sets?
Okay, to actually echo several of the previous speakers, one of the most important skill set is hands-on innovation or building skills. So in the discipline of engineering, especially, that has become more and more important than ever before. So when you want to go to MIT, when you want to go to Stanford or many of the top tier colleges, and especially if you want to study engineering, your hands-on experience is extremely important. So that has been one of the most common traits we see in our successful candidates who graduate from high school and head to top-tier colleges to study engineering, which is why IBMax is very proud to support science fair, engineering fair like CASPAS, which really start kids at a younger age. I'm so thrilled to hear that this year, again, there's elementary school division in this science and engineering fair. That's important to get them interested in building something, in putting together something that's useful in the real world. So that is probably one of the most important traits. And also to echo one of the previous speakers, the writing and presentation skills is the second skill that many of the top tier colleges look for in their successful candidates. So those are the two most important skills that I think this science and engineering fair will foster in younger kids. And I'm glad IBMax also have follow-up programs like Lori recommended. How do we get these kids to continue in their middle school and high school careers to build upon their initial interests and really enlarge that initial spark to make them successful, not only in college, but beyond college in the real professional environment. So those two skills, hands-on engineering skills and writing and oral presentation skills.
Thank you, Dr. Xingwei. Thanks for sharing. And I still remember that last year, your students just give us a very good demonstration of how to prepare the science fair and show her delivery, show the whole process, and let us know, especially the beginners know how to finish the whole job. Okay, thank you, Mr. Xingwei. Lindsay, please go to the next one. Okay. Mr. Bill. Bill, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Bill, I do have a question for you. Because you're in the car. You're very busy, huh? Yeah. So I know that today, because we are focused on the science and engineering fair, and which is the STEM education, right? So if the student they always apart to attend the STEM project, they are good at it. So as you as a very experienced counselor, how do you help these students to stand out?
Okay, yeah, thank you for giving me such an opportunity to talk. And I'm happy to become a sponsor, keep being a sponsor of this association for your wonderful events. Thank you all for the efforts to make things happening one after another, good things happening one after another. Really great job. I think it is very important to do something beyond a job, beyond a major, beyond a job. So, by the way, beyond a counselor, actually, I'm not a counselor. I'm doing a lot of things more than a counselor. I'm more like an architect, designing for counselors. When we are helping students, coaching students in the past few years, for example, I noticed, and this also proves that those students who participated in our STEM programs like machine learning, data strategy, or Kaggle computation. For example, in the past 3 years, we had dozens of students. They were really great in STEM programs. They ranked top 2% worldwide among 4,000, 5,000 teams. Last year, they were ranked 62 to 80, all of them. I mean, super. However, we encourage them to really think bigger. Yes, they think bigger, start from small things. However, we try our best to inspire them, to encourage them to build up their leaderships by thinking how to become good change makers, to lead themselves, lead a team, lead a company, lead the community, and even in the future lead the country. I mean, this is a really great process to change their mindset, change their behavior, change their performance, and then therefore together with young talents and adults, we change the future and make the future a better place for us to live in. Top universities, top companies, or new exciting startups, they all aim to really change the world, to create more impact. So our students, they really start from things, but proving they have such a potential and they have such capability built up together with our team. And we are happy by working with great organizations like CASPA. We empower more students, and we have great role models through the association led by you guys. Great engineers now doing more, focusing more about the social responsibilities, helping communities. So these are things we are making them happening one after another. So again, last but not least, thank you for inviting me, and I'm happy to become a continuous sponsor for your programs and events. Let's make things happen one after another. Let's make the world a better place to live in. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. So we are looking for the projects beyond the career and the major. Thank you. And okay, next one. So today, because Junio is not here, so their colleague is here, is Professor Dr. Ya. Hi, Dr. Ya. I know that 722 is an educational company covered the K-12 subjects. So could you share some thoughts about the STEM project and education?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm so happy that I can talk with the top tier professionals in the field and share our vision, how we can support students. Just to echo on people just talking about earlier, I remember that both Paula and Ray mentioned that supporting students in the STEM field is not just about giving them the skill set. It's also about academic writing, also about their presentation skills, also about helping them find their confidence. That's exactly what we do here at 722. We try to not just enable students with the skill set, we also try to encourage them to dream bigger and empower them to reach higher. And we try to engage them more in their own learning journey, in the process of becoming a person who can change the world. So they can be the director of their own learning journey. So we truly don't just push them move forward. It's more like nudging them on the back and helping them, provide them with more opportunity to explore things. And when it comes to the STEM field education, we have a lot of research projects, individualized research projects. We have courses, we have counseling services to help them identify the problems that they want to work on, identify the possible research topics. Actually, when you look at a high school student project, we don't expect them to use the most cutting edge, fancy research methodology as a graduate student. I mean, those type of skills can be trained easily. What we really care about is what type of question would interest you? What type of things you pay attention to in life, real life? What are your target audience that you want to help? Once you gain the skill set, once you get your degree, what are you going to do? Like the higher education, we're not, like higher education is not vocational schools anymore. We're not training the future, just a typical engineer. We are trying to empower students, inspire students to be someone who can change the world, who really values, who sees things. When you look at the stats, when there's no significance in stats, there's always some significant story behind it. We want our student to be the person who can see those significant stories, who can hear the voice from the marginalized group, who will be able to understand their story, understand their experience, analyze everything, allocate the resources, and be able to retell their story in a way that's sounding enough to make a changes. And here, through all these type of projects, I remember Xin mentioned that we are trying to provide them with resources. not just doing some projects in high school. It's more like beyond their college, beyond their career. Yes, for sure. College is just a starting point. That's not the end of the day. That's the starting point for them to open the door, to get to know the world, to start their own career. When it comes to helping students identify their research field, majors in STEM field, we're more interested in helping them understand, well, this is my skill set, this is my personality, and these are things I value, and this is my intellectual curiosity. And they'll be able to dedicate their whole life in the future to go through that path and trying to pursue something big. And our goal as the educator are more like using our show to inspire others. We'd love to see the spark in their eyes. We'd love to see the thrive in the community. We'd love to see the changes that bring to the world. And I'm so happy here. We have so many colleagues holding the same value, sharing the same vision, and try to make it happen. Thank you again, and I love to learn more from you guys and see how we can support our students move forward.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Yang. So right now we'll go to the next section. Is the Q&A section from our media friends. So do you have any questions to our speakers? There are two Sandy here, right? Maybe Ian, do you have any question? So Sandy, you don't have any question? Okay.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, I do have a question. So what's the highlights for this event? Another question is, I actually am really interested in the volunteer certificate program. So what's the benefits for the volunteers? Thank you.
So Lin Zhi, can you answer the question? So Sandy, you're asking, right? So the first question is, what's the highlights of this event?
Yes.
And the second question is what's the benefit our volunteers can get from our the science and engineering fair?
Yeah, sure. Let me just get a quick answer to Sandy's question. So this year we will have a special theme competition, which is collaborated with So we were like we just discussed, we will have a topic, clean up the ocean spill for the competition. So this actually give a unique chance for the kids to design under a STEM topic to show their talents on what they're thought to help make a better life, make a better environment for us. I think this is we put a lot of efforts to discuss with and discuss with our counselor, how this could be a great project for the kids. So yeah, I think this one we are expecting this to be one of the special program that we can carry over for next year and so on. And to the volunteer certificate program, basically this actually is only a way to appreciate the efforts and contributions to the volunteers, especially to the high school volunteers that put their time and efforts on helping us to design the program, to organize the teams, and to help like some things like distribute the keys, design keys, and these are not we would say it might be some small things, but small steps, but small steps for an individual means a big step for the whole group. So this volunteer certificate will help them to know that their efforts has been recognized, and they can use this certificate to maybe for the presidential volunteer prize. Yeah, this definitely is it's a good certificate for them. Yeah, they can show to provide this material to apply that presidential volunteers prize. Yeah, we hope this one can give the students that more confident and more like thoughts about what they can do for the society and for help others. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Lin
Thank
Zhi.
you, Lin Zhi. Thank you.
So
I want to add one more thing from this program, right? The volunteer program. So last year we have very good experiences. Like we set up a hotline, like in the afternoon, right? And so kids, if he have problems or he want to participate the science fair, right? They have no clue, and so volunteer will help them. Actually, they take a shift to help answer questions like hotline. So that one actually is like a volunteer and help others, right? So we try to promote this kind of experience and spirit.
thanks for your comment, Charlie. So any more questions? Okay. So thanks all the speakers and media friends to attend our CASPA 2022 Science and Engineering Fair media conference. So thank you and have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're looking forward to see you on like June 18th, the kickoff event. Thank you, Paula. Thank you, John.
We should take a picture though.
Oh.
Yeah, you can stop sharing and then everybody show their face. We can take a picture.
Okay, so everyone turn on your video. Okay. Others, 大福 and Hui. Can everyone turn on your video? Okay, two more. And
yeah, Lin Zhi, you have a strong light in your back.
okay, who is the iPhone 6999? Okay, that's it. So 3, 2, 1. Cheese. 3, 2, 1. Cheese. Okay, thank you. And see you all in June 18.
Yeah, very good job. Thanks again, Lin Zhi.
Thank you, Mi.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.